excited. The Ingram Scholar Summer Project is a really unique opportunity to spend one summer working on a project of your choice that you get to spend the whole year developing and working in a population of your choice on a project that you think is really important. But it follows a process that's similar to grant writing in a way, because we're required to research the issues, make contacts in the community, and then write an actual proposal that's really in-depth about what you're going to be doing, why you think it's important, how you're going to be measuring the success of whatever programs you're putting in place.
In public, there are about 100 people at this rally.
It's a difficult process, and it's totally different from an internship or even just like a service trip abroad, because you spend your whole year thinking about it and actively talking to other scholars about your idea and then researching it, and then going through the proposal process was also just really helpful in ensuring that by the time I got here and started my project, I was as prepared as I could be so that I could do the best work that I could possibly do. You guys ready to get started? Yeah? So I'm gonna start with the bell pepper, and then on this side, I will start with carrots. This summer, I'm doing my summer project with the Vanderbilt Kennedy Center, and I am working in their summer camps in teaching nutrition classes, and then also improving their confidence in preparing healthy meals and healthy snacks. Sometimes it'll surprise you, but it can be really good. My goal is to help them become more independent in their meal planning, in their cooking, because a lot of these people are seeking employment and are seeking to live independently, and being able to feed yourself is a pretty large component of being an independent individual.
Chop suey, chop suey.
They're just such a joy to be around. With Williams syndrome, they like to say that they have a cocktail party personality, so you'll see that they come up to everyone and they like to introduce themselves and just get to know you. They're so interested in being your friend. You like it?
It's really good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you guys the recipe so you can make this at home. And they're really adaptive, and they respond to the instruction really well.
In some ways, the most transformational piece of our program are the 8-week summer service projects. Students do everything from staying in Nashville during the summer for 8 weeks working in projects, to going to other places in the United States, to going abroad. We've had Ingram Scholars work virtually everywhere on the planet.
This past summer, I spent 2 months in Uganda conducting ground research on education on behalf of an organization called Teach Twice. And your headmaster? My primary goal when I went to Uganda was just to listen to people that are invested in education and working on the ground with other teachers, nonprofits, to improve education opportunities for Ugandan youth. You teach me, okay? And I teach you, okay? All right. Okay. And one of those major leaders in Uganda's Kampala community and also in the village community was Paul Kabanda, and he is the Teach Twice East Africa director.
Is that okay?
It's okay.
He has a master's in education and has dedicated his entire life to serving Uganda's orphans and vulnerable children.
Good evening to you all. How are we doing? I'm privileged to be the chairman board of governors.
And so by spending time with him, I was able to learn from a Ugandan's perspective just how deep the needs are and how empowering the youth is really the answer to solving Uganda's problems in education.
When you look into the faces of these primary school kids, you see people who are happy, who have a future, who have a vision. But out of a sudden, their vision falls down, it drops out. They don't see a future, how they pursue it further. Many of our students have dropped out of school. They end up not being successful in one way or the other. So they fail to maneuver through their studies or education.
You like our teacher? Yes! Clap hands for her.
I was given the chance to teach the classes. I taught an English class, I taught a math class, and that was a really interesting and challenging experience because the teaching style is so different from the teaching style in America. It's very authoritative, students don't really engage. It was a chance for me to try and break these barriers that are so deeply rooted in the educational norms of Uganda. So for a verb, who remembers what we did? We stood up, stand up. And I told these kids over and over again, I'm here because I'm getting an education, and you can come to America if you get an education, and you can go anywhere you want. And to be honest, I kind of understand where they're coming from, because they live perfectly fine in the village. Their role models are their parents, and their parents are getting by with just a primary level education. So you have to completely change the attitude that education is a must, and it is the answer to getting beyond your circumstances that you may have been born into.
Currently we have few who can access this education, and the majority are a bit disadvantaged, not able to access this education because it is far. We have seen how far these schools are.
We visited around this village. There's lots of kids. There's not enough secondary schools to meet the
There is no secondary school in this community. We want to have one here. We see them growing and then having responsible citizens who are successful, who have a passion, and who can contribute to the development of the country.
I think it was real refreshing for an American especially to come to this village, because they saw the opportunity that it gave me, and before they thought that nobody had cared about Nachikumube, that it was just a little spot in this world that nobody had ever heard of before. And now I care about this community, and I'm back in America talking about this village and raising awareness about the needs in the village community.
Rachel, she has been a gift to Uganda, joyful, and also I can say bringing a picture of an American perspective to an African perspective. Developing these two together, it is incredible.
This summer, Jordan and I traveled to Kampala, Uganda, to work with an organization called Technology for Tomorrow and research the benefits of their rainwater harvesting systems. So Moses, where are we headed to this afternoon?
Well, this is a school that had a problem of water for a very long time.
So our main contact was Dr. Moses Musazi. He is an electrical engineering professor at Makerere University. Technology for Tomorrow has a mission of using appropriate technology to better the lives of local Ugandans and East Africans.
You're welcome.
Hi. Kevin, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
What is your name?
I'm William.
William.
Yes, please.
Nice to meet you.
A lot of people don't have access to clean, affordable sources of water, and so our idea was to join with someone who's working on rainwater harvesting, which is taking advantage of a large untapped resource to provide water to the people who don't have it now.
So they are from America, they have come to see you, you are good children.
Well, thank you for letting us visit, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you. So William, this tank, since you've had it, have you found that it's been sturdy?
We have never had any problem with the water tank.
No problems?
No problem.
The most attractive part of the Ingram students is that they come with a lot of dynamic young blood, and they come with a fresh mind which looks at things in a different way from an old person.
How old are the students here? Is this a primary school?
Yes, primary school.
They come from the States, totally ignorant of what I'm doing, but being able to get into there and be able to appreciate and then carry it a step further by actually marketing these technologies for me is a great input that I cannot have otherwise.
William.
Yes, please.
Before you had this rainwater harvesting tank,
yes,
where would the children get water from?
Oh, they used to get water from very far.
People knew of the technology, but they didn't know how it worked, they didn't know what it cost, they didn't know how it compared to other means of collecting water. And so that was really our goal, was to empower people with information, with knowledge, with education about these technologies.
So when you think about it, all this water is getting collected in here, and the dust just ends up being a minor part of that. The dust settles.
Rainwater has helped us so much. Students at the school here, they use water for cooking, for drinking, for bathing. You find them washing their faces, Whenever they come from the toilets, they wash their hands. Whenever they feel that they have played and their hands are dirty, they go and wash their hands because water is available. How many numbers? 70. I feel good, even the children, the way they are performing, the way they are doing their work. I've loved it so much. And I'm really appreciating. I'm so grateful for what you have done, giving us the tank.
I have been able to set up systems innovated locally and produced locally, and then the Ingram Scholars actually come in, appreciate the technology, and be able to move it to the next level of persuading people to use it. And that's unique.
Hello, we are glad to receive you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Harriet.
I'm Jordan. You're Harriet?
Jordan, yeah.
Oh, nice
to meet you.
My sense of community engagement has definitely changed after being in Kampala, Uganda. So we're students of Dr. Moses Musazi from Makerere University in Technology for Tomorrow. There's an importance in getting immersed into the community and becoming one with the culture and the people that are there.
Our main source of water is the borehole. Borehole, where the students go, they do the pumping of water themselves.
So in Uganda, Jordan and I really tried and really were deliberate about integrating into society and getting on their side as an insider, not just an outsider, to realize what these problems actually are that we're trying to fight.
And then we do the washing of the utensils.
Wow.
And then now the students also need to collect their own water for personal management.
Right. You can't just come in and impose what you think is a good solution, because a lot of times the problem isn't as straightforward as you think. You know, there are cultural elements, there are historical elements, there are a lot of things that come into play that you can't capture on paper and with your research. So you really have to get down and like Kevin said, immerse yourself to really understand these issues. So if you harvested rainwater from this big building here, you might not have so much environmental damage.
I just want to be able to help people, and that's all it really comes down to for me, is just continuing serving people. And there's something that kind of gets under my skin that inflames me with this passion to keep serving. And I found that this summer really did that for me. I think this school would be ideal for harvesting rainwater.
We'll be talking to Dr. Musazi and looking for funds maybe so that we can install gutters and rainwater harvesting tanks.
So we are very grateful.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Jordan and Kevin helped me to understand how we can harvest our water and put it to purposeful use. Because even whatever we have around us, you can't do without water. The students of Wampe Ontakwe would be very, very happy, and I'm very sure that they will greatly appreciate that development.
Everybody smile! This is the most intense part of the program for them. It's often where they find out what really matters to them, both in a positive and negative sense. Areas that they want to continue to pursue, and oftentimes they realize that these are things that they thought they were interested in, but it's not really the path in life for them. So the summer projects in many ways are the most transformative aspect of the Ingram Scholarship Program.